Apparently we spend an hour and 12 minutes a week in queues. During lockdowns this may have been longer as we joined queues at shops, controlling the number of customers allowed in at any one time. An hour and 12 minutes seems like a long time to be standing around waiting in this instantaneous 21st century world, doesn't it? It's also about the length of many a Sunday service in church. We spend longer standing in queues and probably longer in the bathroom. Of course, many people do not count the hours and spend longer in prayer. In the church, we traditionally associate waiting with this season of Advent. But contrary to popular Advent calendar belief, Advent is not a time of waiting for Christmas. Advent is a penitential season in which we prepare for the second coming of Christ. For Scripture and tradition have always taught us that Jesus' earthly life, concluding with his resurrection and ascension, is not the be-all and end-all of his eternal reign, but that he will return, and until such time we wait patiently, expectantly, fearfully, and hopefully. Waiting for God, if it is real waiting, is never boring, nor predictable, nor convenient. It is more likely to be frightening, exciting, and sometimes disappointing, because we don't know exactly what is going to happen, or how, or when. We do not really know what we are waiting for in that eternal queue, but we are reassured that it is worth waiting for and will far exceed our expectations. When one of our dogs had an operation, he was required by the vet to wear a cone around his head for his own protection. Dogs lick their wounds, and this can delay or prevent healing. And as dogs do not understand this, nor can they be told not to do it, their movement is restricted for a little while for their own good. Our Leo, as well as being a little bit ill, was visibly downhearted by having a plastic cone around his neck 24 hours a day. He did not know or understand why, and he had no sense that this was not a permanent development in his hitherto brief life. He had been asleep and woke up with a very inconvenient encumbrance. We knew that after 2 weeks he would be healed and would, no doubt, be overjoyed with the restoration of his freedom. Sure enough, when the vet said we could release him from his vision-narrowing plastic cone, it was as though all his Christmases had come at once. The world looked different, and his freedom within it changed. We are having a national experience of this kind, waiting in government-imposed lockdown for release from the threat of the coronavirus. We wait fearfully and take what precautions we can, hoping to survive. We weep with those who weep, while watching the news in horror, and pray for our family and friends, some of whom have not survived the onslaught. Yet we know that the end will come and there will be release. This is hope, and many of us understand it better at the end of 2020 than we did at the beginning. In this time of waiting that we call Advent, we have an opportunity to step away from the here and now of present living and to engage with God over time, forming a deep and extended relationship in the heart of which we can search and be searched out, know and be known. But to do that takes time and patience. It takes more than an hour and 12 minutes. We often waste our time, but it is never a waste of time to reflect on God's eternal timing, which gives us pause for reflection and reason for hope.